Mobility Monday. I'm just about to start my workout, so I hope you will join me for that. And then please stick around because immediately after the workout, we are going to be doing our weekly Monday Mobility Challenge. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. I'm not going to do a full tutorial today because there are a lot of different exercises. There are 10 different exercises. However, they're all really simple, basic body weight exercises. So I'm going to do my best to just kind of explain the exercises and walk you through them as we're going. And I think they're all pretty easy to pick up on. However, as always, if anything is unclear with the format of the workout, how everything fits together, how you can customize it, if you have questions about any of the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need help with beginner modifications, I'm always here to help, so please just ask. It's really important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout, so that you reduce your risk of injury and also just so that you make sure you are getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And you guys know it's also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I'm always here to help facilitate that. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or if you need help. This is a body weight workout, as I mentioned, so you're not going to need any exercise equipment whatsoever. But if you have an exercise mat or a yoga mat, definitely go ahead and get that ready. If you don't have a mat, a towel may suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. But you're definitely going to be more comfortable with something soft beneath you. So grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. The only other thing I'm going to be using is my jump rope. So I have the lovely Victoria with me here today. Victoria is my beautiful silver jump rope with these pretty light pink metallic handles. If you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there is a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code RUDEBECCA to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. If you do not have a jump rope, first of all, you can simply eliminate the jump rope sections. That's fine. Everything else without the jump rope will absolutely work as a standalone workout. So you can just skip over the jump rope sections if you want. If you don't have a jump rope, but you do want to include the cardio sections, then just choose any other cardio exercise you want. So you can really just pantomime jumping rope. So you can hold on to a couple of imaginary handles and you can jump over an imaginary rope. That's obviously going to be the most similar to what I'm doing with my jump rope. But if you don't want to do that, you can jog in place, you can do high knees, mountain climbers, any kind of moderate paced cardio, any kind of cardio exercise, jumping jacks, whatever works for you. Or if you have an exercise bike or a treadmill or an elliptical or something like that, you can hop on one of those while I'm jumping rope. You could do up and down the stairs. So just get creative and use what you've got. But that's it. That's all I'm using today is my jump rope and an exercise mat. So very quickly, let me just explain what we're doing. I'm going to be starting with 5 sets of 100 with my jump rope. So when I say a set of 100, I'm talking about revolutions of the jump rope. So I always just kind of jog in place like this while I'm jumping rope. But if you are more comfortable jumping with your feet together, fine. You can do any style of jump rope you want. It doesn't matter. The only important thing is that we're counting revolutions of the rope. So every time you count 100 revolutions of the jump rope, that's 1 set of 100. And I'm going to start the workout with 5 sets of 100. Now, because I'm starting the workout that way, and because it's already getting late in the day, I'm pressed for time and it's already super hot out here, I am going to use that first plus or minus 5 minutes or so of the workout as my warm-up. If you would prefer to do the warm-up that we do every day, I'm going to link it up here in the iCard, so you can click on the link. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video. Do that 5-minute warm-up that we do before every workout, and then come back here and start today's workout with me. That is up to you. But this is going to be a long, tough workout, and like I said, it's already getting really hot out here. It's getting late in the day. I don't have a ton of time, that's why I'm not doing a tutorial today. So I'm just going to use that first jump rope section as my warm-up. All right, so you can do that if you want, or you can click on the link in the iCard and do our normal warm-up and then come back here and join me. But that is going to be the first, like, about 5 minutes or so. 5 sets of 100 with my jump rope is going to take me plus or minus about 5 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood. So you could hop on your exercise bike or your treadmill or your elliptical for 5 minutes instead if you want. But as soon as I'm finished with those first 5 sets of 100, I'm going to jump right into my strength training exercises. There are 10 exercises, and we are going to be doing 100 reps of each of those exercises. So it's going to be a lot of reps today. And then in between each of those exercises, I'm going to sneak in a quick set of 100 with my jump rope. So you can eliminate those if you prefer, that's fine. And then after I've made it through my list of 10 exercises, we're going to finish with 1 burpee. And then I'm going to do a second section. The same way I started the workout, I'm going to do a second section of 5 sets of 100. So I'm starting the workout with 5 sets of 100. I'm finishing the workout with 5 sets of 100. And in between each of my 10 strength training exercises, I'm doing 1 set of 100. So by the end of the workout, we will have completed a total of 1,000 reps plus 2,000 revolutions of the jump rope. So again, if you want to eliminate that final 5 sets of 100 of the jump rope, that's fine. It's your workout, so you do it in whatever way works for you, but that's what I'm doing. Please remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you, so watch me do it, read the instructions. But then of course, as always, if anything is unclear, I'm right here to help, so ask questions if you have them. But that's it, that's what we're doing today. Just please remember, especially if you're going to be working out along with the video, to make sure that you are working to your own level. So please modify the exercises as needed. Remember, I'm here to help if you need to see beginner modifications. And make sure that you are not pushing your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. Make sure you're going at your own pace. Do not race to keep up with me. If you're faster than I am, great. Just make sure you're not losing anything off of your form to get there. But whether you're faster than I am or whether you're racing to keep up with me, if you find that you're trying to go too fast and your form starts to get sloppy, that means you need to slow down. It's more important to mind your form so that, again, you reduce your risk of injury and so that you make sure that the exercises are as effective as possible. I hope I've covered everything. I know this was a really short intro today. Well, by my standards, it was a really short intro, but I'm here to answer questions. So if anything is unclear, if there's anything I glossed over, please just ask, and I'm more than happy to help clarify. But if you are ready to go ahead and start the workout, make sure you have something soft beneath you. So grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, maybe a towel. Grab your jump rope if you have one, and if you're jumping rope with me today, and then you can pause the video. And if you want to do the warm-up routine that we normally do, go ahead and click on the link in the iCard, warm up, and then meet me right back here and we'll get into the workout together. If you prefer to just warm up with me today by doing a little bit of jump rope, we're going to be starting with 5 sets of 100 with the jump rope, or you can do plus or minus 5 minutes of any kind of cardio exercise you want. All right, this one's going to be long and it's going to be tough, so just do your best. Remember that your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. We are starting with 5 sets of 100 with the jump rope, so any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're counting 100 revolutions of the rope, that's 1 set, and we're going to do 5 sets. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So you're counting 100 revolutions of the jump rope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100. So if you trip over the jump rope like I did, you do not have to go back and start the whole set over again. Just take a breath, get right back into it, pick up your count where you left off. So that is my first set of 100. We're going to do 4 more. That's 2. That was 3 almost. I tripped on rep like 97 or 98, so just gonna add a few reps to the next set. 2 more sets to go. What happened, Coda? It's okay, baby. Shh, Coda, it's okay. All right, 2 more sets. I'm gonna do a few extra reps this set. So I did 110 revolutions that time to make up those missing reps. Okay, final set of 100, and then we're on to our first strength training exercise. That was our 5th set. So that's my little warm up. And yeah, it took just about 5 minutes. So about the same amount of time as our typical warm up. All right, first strength training exercise is prisoner get-ups. So whenever I say prisoner, this is what I mean. It means that your hands are going to be clasped behind your head. So I'm going to be starting down here on my mat, on my back, on the mat, with my hands clasped behind my head. My knees are bent, my feet are flat on the ground. I'm going to sit up, and then I'm going to take one foot and tuck it underneath the opposite knee. And then I'm going to lean forward, throw my body weight forward, and press into the heel of this front foot, and stand. Then I'm going to reverse the movement. So I'm going to pick this leg back up, bring the foot behind my front leg, and set it down. I'm going to reverse the movement so that I end up seated again with both knees bent, but this foot underneath the opposite knee. And then I'm going to bring this foot back to the front and reverse the movement, return to my starting position. That's one rep. I'm going to alternate sides with each rep. So with my next rep, I'm going to sit up. I'm going to pick up the opposite foot, bring it underneath my front knee, throw my weight forward, press into this front heel, and stand, and then reverse the movement. So picking up the same foot, bringing it back behind this front foot, coming back down onto my booty, and now I'm gonna put this foot in front again and return to my starting position. All right, so with each rep, I'm alternating which foot is going underneath the other one, and I'm alternating which foot is in front and leading for the get up. All right, so alternating sides with each rep. 100 total reps is gonna be super tough, so do your best. At any point, if you need a longer rest break than what I'm taking, remember you can pause the video and just come back when you're ready. You want to challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as you can, but they should be as long as you need. You should only resume the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. So please be smart, be safe, listen to your body, make the decision that is best for you. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. 100 prisoner get-ups. So sit up and stand, and now reverse the movement. Other leg. Sit up, tuck the opposite leg underneath, press into that front heel to stand, and come back down. That's 2. 3. And 4. Keep going. That's 20 for me. Rest if you need to, keep going if you can. We're a quarter of the way there. Keep going. Which foot was I on? I think this one. No, this one. Should always try to pause on an even number so I don't have to try to remember which foot was forward, but I think that was right. So that's 26. 27. 28. 29. And 30. That one was just too sloppy. I'm redoing it. Let me breathe for a second. Remember, if you start to get sloppy, you probably just need to breathe for a couple seconds, maybe slow down your pace a little. So I'm gonna take a couple of breaths, pick up my count at 30, and I'm gonna focus, make sure these are clean moving forward. It's 40. That's 50. So we're halfway there. 100 reps of everything is a lot. So if you want to cut the reps in half, you can do 50 reps of everything. You can do 20 reps of everything. All right, whatever's going to work for you. I'm just going to take a good 30 to 60 seconds here to rest before I start on this second half, but I'm going to be doing 100 reps of each of these strength training exercises. So you do what works for you. The sweat is already just dripping off of me. It is so hot out here and it's like sticky and humid. All right, So if you need a longer rest break, you can pause, just come back when you're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and start on my second half. So I'm picking up my count at 50. That's 60. That's 70. This is rep number 75. That means we are 3/4 of the way through. And now more than 3/4 because that was rep 76. 77. 78. 79. 80. My hands are so sweaty, it's gross. Oh, everything's sweaty. All right, we are getting there. Just 20 more reps. That was 90. Just 10 more. That was 95, just 5 more, let's push. It's 96. 97. 98. 99, last one. And 100. All right. So that was our first strength training exercise. With the exception of the jump rope, this really is a no repeat exercise. So it's gonna be really tough doing 100 reps of each exercise, but at least we just have to do each exercise once. We do those 100 reps and then we're done. If you are including the little cardio sections with me, just going to sneak in a super quick set of 100 with my jump rope. It's only gonna take a minute. So if you wanna jump rope with me, great. We're gonna count 100 revolutions of the jump rope. If you don't wanna do this, you can just breathe for an extra minute while I'm jumping rope. If you do wanna do this, but you don't have a jump rope, just jog in place or do high knees or jumping jacks or something, or hop on the treadmill for a minute while I'm jumping rope. But as soon as you're ready, here we go. 100 revolutions of the jump rope. Now we're back down on the mat. These first 5 exercises, we're gonna be down on the mat. So next is going to be glute bridge raises, alternating between toes elevated and heels elevated. So I'm gonna be down on my back on the mat. My knees are bent and my feet are flat on the mat. Now I'm going to press my heels into the mat and lift my hips up as high as I can towards the ceiling, really squeezing those glutes as hard as I can, and then I'm going to lower my hips down with control. You don't need to go this slowly. I'm just illustrating how much every aspect of the movement needs to be under control. So what you're not doing is just letting your hips drop down. All right, control the movement. If you want to keep your feet flat on the mat like that the whole time, that is up to you. I'm going to be elevating my toes for the first rep and pressing my heels into the mat as I do my glute bridge raise. And then with my next rep, I'm going to be reversing that. I'm going to be elevating my heels up off the mat and pressing the balls of my feet into the mat as I do my glute bridge raise. So alternating heel, toe. That's how I'm doing it. If that's too difficult or confusing or uncomfortable, you can just have your feet flat on the mat the whole time. But that's it. Whatever variation you're doing, we're doing 100 reps. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. So pressing your heels into the mat, lift the hips as high as you can, squeeze the glutes at the top, control the movement on the way down, and now pressing the balls of your feet into the mat, lifting your hips as high as you can, squeezing the glutes, control the movement on the way down, alternating heel toe, heel toe. So that's 4, 5, 6. We're going to 100, so do your best. That's 20. That's 40. That's 50. So again, if 100 reps is too many for you and you want to stop here and just move on, that's up to you. I know 100 reps of everything is a lot. I'm going to keep pressing on. I'm going to do another 50 of these. So pause the video if you need to rest. If you're ready to go, let's go ahead and start our second half of this exercise. So I'm picking up my count at 50. As soon as you're ready, here we go. That's 60. $75. It's 80. 90. Why do I feel like I skipped 10? All right, let's do another 10. All right, I think that might be 100, but I also feel like I might have skipped 10 somehow. So you guys know me, once I get that thought in my head, I can't move on until I scratch that itch on my brain by doing another 10 reps. So if you know that was 100, you can move on. But if I shorted us 10 reps, let's go ahead and just make those up now. These might be an extra 10 reps. That's fine if they are. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so that may or may not have been an extra 10 reps. I'm not sure, but I would rather know that there's a possibility that I may have done an extra 10 reps than to spend the rest of the workout with that nagging thought of, did I only do 90 reps? Am I missing 10 reps with bridge raises? So at least now I know that's at least 100 reps. And if we did an extra 10 reps, I'm good with that. All right, shake it out. I know those legs are feeling it. It's gonna be hard to get my feet up and over the rope, but it's just one set of 100. Just sneaking in, hopefully a quick set of 100 in between each of these other 10 strength training exercises. See if I can get my feet up and over the rope. My legs are jelly. All right, when you're ready, here we go. Technically that was really 2 sets of 50, but I'll take it. All right, next is Russian twists. You can add weight to this if you want. I wanted to keep this a body weight workout today, so I'm going to be doing this with no added weight, but you can hold on to a set of dumbbells or a kettlebell or a medicine ball, or you could use household items like a couple of water bottles or shampoo bottles or something like that, or a jug of laundry detergent if you want to add weight. If you're a beginner or if you start to fatigue, you can keep your heels on the mat. All we're gonna do is twist and tap. So work to your own level. If you're able to actually tap the mat, that's what you're working towards. But if you're not there, you're not there. Okay, so if you need to shorten up your range of motion, you can be here if you're a beginner. But if you're able to tap the mat, that's what we're going for. Twist and tap, twist and tap. Just like that. Each tap is 1 rep, so we're alternating sides with each rep. I'm going to be doing that, but I'm going to have my heels elevated off the mat. So if you want to try this more advanced version, you can start here, and then if this gets to be too taxing, you can put your heels down. All right, because we're doing so many reps. So you might be able to start with your heels elevated and then find that you need to place them down. That is absolutely fine. But it's a super simple exercise. So heels elevated if you want. Starting to one side, you're gonna twist and tap, twist and tap. 3, 4, 5, 6. Super simple, but super tough. So keep going, we're going to 100. That's 50. So if you're cutting these reps in half, you can move on. If you're continuing on with me and doing another 50, I'm just gonna breathe for a second. Keeping my rest break to about 15, 20 seconds. I'm not looking at my timer, just going by feel. I'm gonna keep it pretty short. All right, when you're ready, here we go, picking up my count at 50. We're gonna do another 50. 60. 70. 80. 90, just 10 more, let's push. 100. If you added weight to this, you're probably still going. You probably were not able to complete them as quickly as I did if you're holding on to weight. So just pause the video until you're caught up, and remember that if you started holding on to weight, but it's too difficult to do all 100 reps with added weight, just drop the weight and finish up the way I was doing them, okay? And once you have completed all 100 reps, if you are including these little cardio sections with me, another quick minute or so of additional cardio. So I'm jumping rope, you can pantomime jumping rope. You can do high knees, you can jog in place. Once up and down the steps, whatever you're doing for your little cardio sections. Okay, so that was our third exercise of 10. So next, we're going to be doing reptile knee tucks. So it's just a knee tuck, but you're tucking your knee to the side. If you prefer, you can tuck your knee straight into the chest. That's up to you. But starting in a plank position, so what you want to make sure of is that your head is in line with your spine. So if you imagine standing with your back up against a wall and you're just lightly pressing the back of your head into the wall, that's where you want your head. So do your best to make sure that your head is perfectly in line with your spine. Make sure that your shoulders are away from your ears. So that means that you want to make sure you're not kind of sinking into your shoulders like this. You fix that by pressing the ground away from you, and make sure you're not allowing your back to arch. Your abs should be super duper strong and tight and engaged. You're using your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them lifted high. And then from here, you're going to pick up one foot and you're going to tuck the knee to the side towards the elbow on the same side. Then return to your starting position, alternating sides with each rep. So with your next rep, you'll pick up the opposite foot, tuck it towards the elbow on the same side, and return to your starting position. You could also just tuck your knees straight in towards your chest. If you prefer that, that's fine. Really, and kind of like any plank exercise you want to do is fine. There are a million of them. So alternating sides with each rep, we're doing 100 total reps. Again, if you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. So starting by spreading out all 10 fingers, place your hands on the mat directly underneath your shoulders. Step your feet back so that you are in your plank position. And now one at a time, you're going to tuck the knee towards the elbow on the same side, alternating sides with each rep. So that's 4, 5, 6. We're going to 100, so do your best. 30 for me. I'm gonna have to break these up. I think I'm gonna try to do another 20 without stopping, and then I'll try to repeat that. Try to do 30, 20, 30, 20, if I can. Shake it out. Trying to keep my rest breaks as short as I can. So next 20 reps, hopefully, without stopping. You are doing 50 reps of everything instead of 100, you can move on. I'm going to breathe for a few seconds, about 20, 30 seconds, and then I'm going to see if I can do my next 30 without stopping. Try to do the second half the same way I did the first half, 30 and then 20. When you're ready, here we go, I'm picking up my count at 50. That's 60. That's 80. I'm not working until failure each time, like I could have done a few more reps, but I'm just pacing myself for 100. I know I'm not going to make it through all 100 without pausing to rest, so I'm just trying to break it up in a way that makes sense to me and it's going to be the most efficient. So you break it up however you need to. If you're strong enough to do all 100 without stopping, go for it. I'm gonna pick up my count at 80. So I just have to do 20 more reps. Hopefully I can do them unbroken. When you're ready, here we go. It's 90. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and that is 100. All right, that's our fourth exercise. We have one more exercise down on the mat, and then we're gonna be up for our final 5 exercises. First, another quick set of 100 with the jump rope. Hopefully quick. We shall see. Starting over, because I didn't even get to 10 before I tripped. 20, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. So I told you at the beginning that if you trip over your jump rope, you do not have to go back and start the whole set over, but typically if I trip before I've even counted to 20, I'll just go ahead and start the whole set over because I would rather see if I can string together a clean set of 100 if I can. That's up to you. All right, so fifth and final exercise down here on the mat. we're doing what I call competition sit-ups. You really can do any sit-up variation you want, any crunch variation you want, really any ab exercise you want. But what I call a competition sit-up is just a sit-up with straight legs, and with each rep you're going to lean/reach forward or leech forward and touch your toes. I was going to say I invented a word, but leech is already a word. I invented a new meaning for the word leech. It's a lean and a reach. All right, so I'm going to start all the way down here on my back with my legs extended straight and my arms extended overhead. And then I'm going to sit up and leech. Lean forward and touch my toes, and then return to my starting position. Super simple. If that doesn't work for you, you can have your knees bent. You can do any sit variation you want, any crunch variation, any ab exercise you want. Just pick one that works for you, and let's do 100 reps together. So as soon as you're ready, extend the arms up overhead, and now sit up, lean forward, and touch your toes. That's 1, 2, 3, we're going to 100, do your best. It's 10 for me. I'm going to need to scooch forward soon. That's 20 for me. Scooch and cry, scooch and cry. Scooch because when I do this exercise, I tend to travel in reverse just a little bit with each rep. So after each 10 or 15 or 20 reps or so, I'm going to need to scooch my booty down towards the end of the mat. And cry because I have weakling abs, and you guys know if you follow my workouts regularly that every time we do abs, I cry. So, scooch and cry when you're ready. Picking up my count at 20. Let me see if I can do another 20 without having to stop and cry. All right, when you're ready, here we go. That's 30. $35, $36, $37, $38, $39, last one, $40. Time for another scooch and cry. Oh, my little weakling abs. All right, I'm gonna breathe for 30 seconds or so. Cry for another minute. And then I'm going to pick up my count at 40. I'm going to see how long I can keep doing sets of 20. If I can keep doing sets of 20, I only have to do 3 That was 50. So if you are doing 50 reps of everything, you can move on now. If you are doing 100 reps with me, let's do another 10, and then we'll do another little scooch and take a little break and see if we can continue doing sets of 20. But I'm picking up my count right now at 60. I mean 50, so that's 53. 54, working my way to 60, I should say. 65, I mean 55. 56. 57. 58. 59 and 60. My abs are not happy, but we're more than halfway there. That was my 60th rep. Going to rest for a few seconds and then see if I can continue doing sets of 20. If I can keep doing sets of 20, then I'll be done in no time. Make it sound so easy. All right, deep breath. Picking up my count at 60. Let's do 10 more. That's 75. We're 3/4 of the way there. Let's keep pushing. It's 5 more. 77, 3 more, and then we'll take one more little rest break. 78, 79. That's 80. All right. I'm just giving myself another 30 seconds or so of a rest break before tackling this final 20 reps. Guys, why do I love the smell of the street sweeper so much? Is that weird? It smells like after rain. You know, after it rains, that smell, that's what the street sweeper smells like. It's 85, only 15 left to go. Let's push. It's 90, 10 more. It's 95, just 5 more. Let's push. 96, 97, 98, 99, last one. All right, sit-ups are done. And that was our 5th and final exercise down on the mat. We are finished with the mat. Well, I'm not, because this is my jump rope mat. I bought it to jump rope out here on the concrete without destroying my jump rope. So I'm still using my mat, but if you don't use a mat to jump rope, then you're done with the mat. The point is, the second 5 exercises we're going to be standing. All right, so before we move on, we just crossed over the 1 hour mark. So I told you guys this was going to be long and it was going to be tough, but we're almost halfway finished. Technically, after this quick set of 100 with the jump rope, that's the halfway point. So let's go ahead and do our next set of 100 with the jump rope. That is 100. So now we are officially at the halfway point. So if you need to take a rest break, now would be a great time to pause the video, towel off if you're sweating profusely like I am, and have a sip of water or sports drink. Let your heart rate come down a little bit, let your breathing normalize a little bit, and then when you're ready to start in the second half, you can come back. Of course, if you wanted to stop here, just this much would make a great workout. Maybe tack on your second 5 sets of 100 with the jump rope. Don't forget to do your bonus burpee, and then of course, your cool down. So if you want to cool down with me, use the chapter markers to skip ahead to the cool down, and then stick around for the mobility challenge before you do your stretching. But you really could also shorten this workout. So you could cut all of the reps in half, or you could just do half. You could do the first 5 exercises, or you could do just the second 5 exercises. So lots of ways to customize it. The next exercise I'm going to be doing is skater jumps. So I'm going to be starting towards one end of my workout space. And this is, it's called skater jumps, but really it's a leap. So the difference between a leap and a jump: leap means taking off on one foot and landing on the other foot. So these are called skater jumps, but really it's a leap. So I'm going to start towards one end of my workout space. I'm going to pick up the foot that's on the inside. Okay, so I'm towards the outside of my workout space. I'm gonna pick up the foot that's like towards the middle of my space, and I'm going to kind of bring it back behind my other leg just to create some momentum for my lateral leap. So I'm going to jump to the side. So I'm taking off on this foot, and then I'm going to land on the other foot. And this foot is going to come behind me, and I'm going to tap the heel if I can. That's one rep. We're alternating sides. So with my next rep, I'll jump to the other side or leap to the other side. Heel comes behind, tap the heel if you can. It's challenging for balance. So if you find that you're needing to put your foot down and check your balance, if you find that you're wobbling, do your best to not let the frustration sabotage your mindset, okay? Do your best to embrace that, because just remember that every time you're fighting for your balance, every time you're stumbling, what you're really doing is causing all of those tiny little stabilizer muscles in your core to be firing like crazy. It's actually really great core work. So try to embrace it, try to reframe it. I know it's frustrating. We all want to look beautiful and perfect and seamless. I might be able to string together a few beautiful looking reps, but I'm going to also be wobbling a lot. I'm going to be having to check my balance and tap my foot down, okay? So just do your best. The goal is to not tap this foot down. The goal is to go from here right into your next rep and be beautiful and flawless, okay? It's good to have goals, but remember, your best is always good enough. So just do your best and let that be good enough. If you need a longer rest break before we start in the second half, pause the video, towel off, get a sip of water. As soon as you are ready to resume the workout, here we go. 50 skater jumps. So starting towards one end of your workout space, bring that foot behind you, and now leap to the side, tap the heel, back to the other side. That's 2. Already checking my balance. That's 4, 5, 6. We're going to 100. So do your best, okay? I'm counting those as my first 6 reps. Not too bad. Started to kind of find a groove. Then I started to not really have the reps under as much control. So I'm gonna pause here and breathe. But that was 30. All right. I'm gonna see if I can string together another 20 reps. That'll get me to 50. And then for sure I'm gonna need another little breather. When you're ready, here we go. Pick up my count at 30. It's 40. All right, so that's 50. So if you're doing 50 reps of everything instead of 100, you can move on. If you're doing all 100 reps with me, then obviously we have to do 50 more. So I'm gonna breathe for a minute. And then I'm gonna see if I can do my second half the same way I did the first half. I'm gonna see if I can do my first 30 reps unbroken. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. My quads do not want to do it, but that's my goal. I'm gonna try to push through, picking up my count at 50. I'm gonna see if I can get to 80 before I have to pause and rest, and then finish up with my final 20. So wish me luck. When you're ready, here we go. So bend the knees, pick up one foot, bring it behind you. Now leap to the side, tap the heel, and now other side. 80. Gonna breathe for another 15, 20 seconds, and then finish up these final 20 reps. Picking up my count at 80. That's 90. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, last one, 100. You know the drill. 100 revolutions of the rope. Ay, ay, ay. That was a hot mess. The jump rope sections are going to start getting more and more difficult as I fatigue, and this second half is going to be a lot more taxing for lower body, so you're gonna probably start to see a lot more tripping over the jump rope, but you know, just do what you can. All right, so next we are going to be doing pivot lunges. So you're going to have your feet wide apart, wider than shoulder width apart, and then you are going to take one foot and pivot so that your toes are facing this wall over here. And then you are going to pick up the heel of the other foot and pivot on the ball of your foot. And then once you're facing this way, you're going to bend both knees and come down into your lunge, and then you'll pivot back to face front again. Alternating sides with each rep. So then with the next rep, you're going to pick up your toes, pivot the toes out so that they're facing this wall, pick up the heel of the opposite foot and pivot so that you're facing this way. Bend both of your knees and come down into your lunge. If you are able to tap the ground with this back knee, great, you can do it. Just make sure the movement is under control so you don't bang your knee into the ground. You don't have to tap the ground if you don't want to. Work to your own level, but you're going to bend both knees, going for a 90-degree angle in this front knee, so try to make sure that this knee is not tracking over your toes. You want the knee over the heel of this front foot, and then pivot to face forward again. All right, so just pivot and lunge, pivot forward, other side, pivot and lunge, and face forward. All right, super simple, but 100 reps is going to be a challenge. So as soon as you are ready, here we go. Starting with your feet wider than shoulder width apart, pivot and lunge, pivot to the other side and lunge. That's 2, pivot and lunge, pivot to the opposite side, and lunge. That's 4. We're going to 100, so do your best. I'm counting those first 4 reps as my first 4 reps. So I'm picking up my count at 4, I'm gonna zip it so I can conserve some energy. So let's see how many of these we can do before we have to pause and rest. When you're ready, here we go. Okay, that's 30. Again, I'm not working until failure. You can if you want to, you do whatever works for you, but I'm pacing myself for 100. So I think I'm gonna try to do these the same way I did my skater jumps. 30-20, 30-20. So I'm gonna pause and rest here for at least a good 30 seconds. And then my goal is to do my next 20 reps unbroken. That'll get me to 50. So when you're ready, here we go. Picking up my count at 30. That's 40. That's 50. So again, if you are doing reps of 50, you can move on. If you are continuing on with me, we have to do 50 more. Watch me fix my socks while you rest. So again, I'm going to try to do the second half the same way I did the first half. I'm going to see if I can do my first 30 reps unbroken. That'll get me to 80, and then I'll see if I can finish up with my final 20 reps unbroken. So if you need a longer rest break before we start on the second half of our lunges, pause the video, come back when you're ready, picking up my count at 50. I'm gonna see if I can do my next 30 unbroken. So when you're ready, here we go. Pivot and lunge. Pivot and lunge. So that's 60 for me. 70. $75. Let's do 5 more and then we'll rest. 6, 7, 8, 9, one more. That's 80. Again, if you're strong enough to do all 100 without pausing to rest, go for it. I just feel like for me, this is the most efficient way to get it done. Taking a good, 30 seconds here. Just have to do 20 more reps. So when you're ready, here we go. Pick up my count at 80. That's 90, just 10 more. Let's keep pushing. It's 95, 5 more. 96, 97, 98, 99, last one. 100. You're gonna hate me for what's coming up next. Not the jump rope, but after the jump rope. You guys thought the get-ups were rough. They're a picnic compared to what we have to do next, but we'll get it done. It's gonna be, I think, the toughest part of the whole workout. And then it's all downhill. We home stretch after that, all right? So one thing at a time. First, let's do this next set of 100 with the jump rope and these jelly legs. Actually going to use my mat for this next exercise as well, but only because I'm not wearing gloves. Might make it a little more comfortable if you want to have a mat or a towel underneath your hands, but it's not strictly necessary. But we're doing half burpees. Don't hate me. Basically, I'm not adding a jump. You can if you want to. If your legs can do that at this point, you can add a jump. All I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting from a standing position. I'm going to bend down and place my hands flat on the mat, and I'm going to jump my feet back so that I'm in a plank position, and then I'm going to jump them right back in, and stand. All right, if you have enough strength that you want to add a jump, you can add a jump. You can add a calf raise, you can do a jump tuck. You can do any burpee variation you want, really, but I'm keeping it super simple because we're doing 100 reps of these and it's gonna take me out. It is gonna absolutely take me out. So strap in because this section is gonna take a little bit of time. All right, so if you need to pause and get a sip of water, I'm gonna breathe for about another 30 seconds or so before I start on this next exercise because I know it's gonna take me out. So if you need a rest break, you don't necessarily have to pause the video because I'm taking one too. Just grab a towel off, get a sip of water. If you need a longer rest break than what I'm taking, you can pause the video and come back when you feel that you have enough strength and enough stamina to tackle this next really tough exercise. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. 100 half burpees, just do your best, okay? So, one more deep breath. All right, here we go, when you're ready. So bend down, hands on the mat, jump the feet back into a plank position, jump them right back in and stand. That's 1 rep. Hands down, jump the feet out and back in and stand. That's 2, 3, 4. Keep going. We're going to 100. Just do your best. I know these are super tough, especially an hour and a half into the workout. And if you're working out in the heat like I am. So that was my first 20. I'm gonna see if I can do another 20 reps unbroken. That's 30. was 40 for me. I'm just gonna do another 10 without stopping if I can. That'll get me to 50. All right, so that's 50. So you can move on if you want. If you want to torture yourself with me, we're going to do this 50 more times. So I don't think I can tackle the second half the same way I tackled the first half. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. So I'm going to just do sets of 10 from here on out and just hope I can get through 5 sets of 10 cleanly. So when you're ready, I'm picking up my count at 60. I'm just gonna do 10 reps unbroken if I can. So that's 60 for me. Just need to do 4 more sets of 10, so hopefully I can do all 4 unbroken. We'll see. Trying to keep my rest breaks in between as short as I can since I'm only doing sets of 10. So let's go ahead and start on our next 10. So I'm picking up my count at 60. That's 70. Resting for about, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds. All right, another 10 if you can. $75. That's 80. I told you these were gonna be tough. We're getting there though. It's just 2 more sets of 10. So if you can no longer do sets of 10, just do 4 little baby sets of 5. Whatever you need to do. But there's only 20 reps left. We got this. When you're ready, picking up my count at 80. That's 90. We made it. Just 1 more set of 10. Just 5 more. Push. 96. 97. 98. 99. Last one. 100. Those are so hard. You guys let me know. What was worse? That or the get-ups? The get-ups took a lot longer, obviously, but for me, that right there is the toughest part of this whole workout. So, the good news is, it's all downhill from here. We just have 2 exercises left. But first, another quick little cardio section. "100 revolutions of the rope" when you're ready. All right, so next is good mornings. For my good mornings, I always have my hands clasped behind my neck, but a lot of people do them with their hands just kind of next to their ears like this, like with their fingertips kind of touching their ears. So whatever's comfortable for you. I might do that today because when we were doing the prisoner get-ups, having my hands clasped together that long in this heat and humidity was not pleasant. But you can have your hands behind your head or kind of next to your ears, that's fine. Really, this is just a hip hinge. We're doing good mornings. Did I say we're doing good mornings? So the first thing you want to make sure of is that you have a soft bend to your knees. Make sure that you are not locking out your knees. You're not actively trying to straighten your legs. You specifically don't want your legs perfectly straight. So soft bend to the knees, and then you're hinging at the hips. So first thing you want to think about is tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets so that your shoulders are back and down away from your ears. That's also going to help you keep your chest lifted nice and high, which is what we want. And then you're hinging at the hips. So push your booty back. Imagine trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. At the same time, remember your chest is lifted nice and high. So also think about trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. The point is that you want to elongate your spine, keeping your back flat and keeping the weight in your heels. And your goal is to see if you can get your torso parallel to the ground. But again, we're working to our own level, so if you're here, you're here. Don't push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. But that's it. That's the exercise. It's super simple. So hands clasped behind your head, or you can have them kind of touching your ears. I think I might do this today. And then you are tucking the shoulder blades into the back pockets, keeping that chest lifted high, soft bend to the knees, hinge at the hips. See if you can get your torso parallel to the ground, and then press your heels into the ground and hinge at the hips to stand. I'm counting that as my first rep. We're going to 100, so do your best. Hinge at the hips, and then press the heels into the ground to stand. That's 2, 3, keep going. 20 for me. Pacing myself for 100. So I'm going to pause here and breathe. And then I'll see if I can do another set of 20 unbroken. That'll be my goal. All right, when you're ready, pick up my count at 20. 40 for me. Shake it out. Let's do another 10. So that's 50 for me. So obviously if you're doing 50 reps of everything instead of 100, you can move on. If you're doing 100 reps of everything with me, we have to do another 50 good mornings. So I'm taking a nice long rest break here at the halfway point because I would like to see if I can tackle the second half the same way I did the first half. So I'm going to see if I can do 2 unbroken sets of 20, and then I'll just finish up with my final 10 reps. So just giving myself a nice long rest break before I tackle this second half so that hopefully I can string together 2 unbroken sets of 20. If you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you are ready to tackle this second and final 50 reps of good mornings. Here we go, pick up my count, 50. $60. Five more. That's 70. So my goal, I'm gonna rest for obviously for a little while here, and then my goal is to do another set of 20 unbroken that'll get me to 90. So I'm just taking a good, I don't know, 30 or 40 seconds here so that hopefully I have enough strength to do another unbroken set of 20. So when you're ready, here we go. I'm picking up my count at 70. That's 75. $80. $85. And that's 90. Just 10 more. Let's see how close we can keep this to 2 hours. It's gonna end up taking me a little more than 2 hours, but I'll see how close to 2 hours I can keep it. All right, shake it out. Final 10 reps of good mornings. When you're ready, here we go. Picking up my count at 90. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, last one. That is 100. So out of 10 strength training exercises, although the half burpees are kind of cardio and strength. But out of those 10 exercises, we have completed 9. We have just one exercise left to go. It's gonna be super tough, but it'll go by relatively quickly. So we really are on the home stretch. Let's first just sneak in another set of 100 with the jump rope. My legs are really feeling fatigued, so I'm feeling you're gonna see a lot of tripping over the jump rope from here on out, but I'm gonna do my best. Here we go, when you're ready. I'm gonna start this whole set over. Obviously my legs just need another minute, so I'd rather just take a few seconds to breathe and see if that helps me to kind of regain enough strength in my legs that I can hopefully string together a clean set of 100, or at least not trip quite so much. Because I barely completed like 30 revolutions and I've already tripped twice, so just gonna start over. One more deep breath. Okay, wish me luck. We made it. This is our 10th and final exercise. We're doing mini squat pulses. So if your quads aren't already dying, this will be the thing that does them in. It's gonna be a total quad burnout. Really, any squat variation you want to do is fine, but mini squats will go the fastest. That's what I'm doing. So same as with our good mornings, you wanna start by tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Your shoulders should be back and down away from your ears. Chest is lifted nice and high. Wait for the plane. It's okay, I needed a minute to breathe anyway. Tighten up your abs. So if you imagine that someone's about to come along and punch you as hard as they can in the stomach, think about how you would brace for that impact. That's how tight you want your ab muscles to be. And then again, you're going to think about pushing your booty back, hinging at the hips, trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, at the same time trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. So just like our good mornings, your spine is nice and elongated, your back is flat, and the weight should be in your heels. I can actually pick up my toes. And from here is where you can sink down into your squat. And then we're just going to pulse. So you're going to press your heels into the ground to stand, but you're not going to straighten your legs all the way and return to your starting position. You're just going to come up about halfway, and then we're going to pulse. So shoulders back and down, chest is high, abs are tight, pushing the booty back. Keeping the back flat, keeping the weight in your heels as you sink down into that squat, and then you're gonna come up halfway and then right back down. You're just pulsing 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're doing 100 reps. It's gonna be super tough, especially 2 hours into the workout, but just break it up however you need to. And if you find it easier or more manageable to do another squat variation, or if you find it more difficult to do another squat variation, but you want to challenge yourself, that's fine. You can do any squat variation you want. My quads already feel like they're gonna fall off, and I know this is gonna do me in, so I'm just taking a few extra seconds to breathe here. If you don't need the rest, go ahead and start on your mini squats, or whatever squat variation you're doing. If you're with me, just gonna take a few more deep breaths. About another 15, 20 seconds for me, I think. And then I'll go ahead and get started on these squats. All right. Are you ready? I'm not, but we gotta get this done. Here we go, this is our final exercise. Let's just push. So as soon as you're ready, shoulders back and down, chest is high, abs are tight, push the booty back, sink down into your squat. You're gonna squat and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10, keep going. That's 30 for me. If you don't need to break them up, don't break them up. Just keep going. I'm gonna try to do another 20 unbroken. So when you're ready, here we go. So that's 50. If you're doing sets of 50, you can move on to your final jump rope section. If you're in the self-torture club with me, let's do another 50 reps of mini squats. So I'm going to attempt to do the second half the same way I did the first half. We'll see what happens, but I'll make it my goal to complete the next 30 reps without stopping. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but that's what I'm going for. So when you're ready, here we go. My quads don't want to, but we gotta get this done. Picking up my count at 50. $60. 70. 75, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. Not exactly an unbroken set of 30, but close. Just 20 more of these. And then we're done. All that's left to do is jump rope. I say that like it's gonna be easy. Nothing's easy in this heat. After 2 hours and 4 minutes and 10 seconds. All right, let's go. 20 more reps. It's 90. Push. That's 95. 5 more. 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. One more set of 100. I'm not going to jump right into it after what happened last time. As much as I want to get this done, I think I'm going to be better served taking an extra minute here, giving my legs a little bit of time to recover so that hopefully I can get through this set of 100. Ideally without tripping at all, but if I do trip, I'd like to keep it to a minimum, so just giving myself an extra minute here. All right, hopefully that was enough time. Shake it out. When you're ready, here we go, 100 revolutions of the rope. Almost. Good enough for me. At this point, I'll take it. One burpee. All right. That took me 1 hour, 7 minutes and 23 seconds. If that is enough time for you, no, sorry, 2 hours, 7 minutes and 23 seconds. If that's enough for you, you can be done, and you can even count that burpee as your bonus burpee. So now if you want, you can skip over this final jump rope section, skip ahead to the cool down. Just do a quick 5-minute cool down with me, and then remember, it's Mobility Monday, so please stick around for the mobility challenge. We'll do that together. And then make sure you're taking a good 15 or 20 minutes to stretch before you have your shower, and then you can eat some lunch and get on with the rest of your day. If you are continuing on with me, remember we started the workout with 5 sets of 100 with the jump rope. We're going to end the workout the same way, so that by the end of the workout, we will have completed 1,000 reps, which we've already done, plus 2,000 revolutions with the jump rope. We've already completed 1,500 revolutions, so we just have to do 500 more. So we're going to just do 5 more sets of 100. It's going to be super tough at this point, but we're going to get it done, all right? Just taking a nice long rest break so my legs can get through this. So again, now is another good time to towel off, get a sip of water or Gatorade or whatever you're drinking, and just give yourself a minute to let your breathing normalize a little bit, let your heart rate come down a little bit. And if you're not jumping rope, but you do want to add on the cardio, it can be about 5 minutes of any kind of moderate paced cardio you want. So again, if you have access to a treadmill or an exercise bike or something like that, you can hop on one of those. You can do up and down the stairs. You could go for a quick jog. Whatever you did for the first 5 minutes of the workout is what you can do for this final 5-ish minutes. But you can do something different if you want. Just plus or minus 5 minutes of any kind of moderate paced cardio you want. But I'm gonna complete another 500 revolutions with the jump rope, 5 sets of 100, so that's gonna be my 2,000 total revolutions on the day. So if you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. These might not be pretty, but we're gonna get them done. Here we go. Final 5 sets of 100 with the jump rope. I've completed 2 sets. I need to do 3 more, but I'm so fatigued. Each set is getting harder and harder. So just need to kind of reset for a minute. So frustrating. Just 2 more sets left to go. I want to just do them and get them done. But I'm tripping so much because my legs are just so weak and it's so frustrating. So I'm not going to rush myself through these final 2 sets because I'd rather just take a few extra seconds to breathe and rest so that hopefully I can string together, if not a clean set, just close to clean. Like no more than 2 trips over the rope, let's say. Okay. Set number 4. That was set number 4. And really, that was set number 19 of 20. So, amazing job if you've hung in there with me this whole time. We just have One more set to go. Oh. All right. At this point, I don't care if I trip 10 times. This is my final set. I'm gonna get it done, that's all that matters. All right. Set number 20. Here we go. So that ended up taking me a total of 2 hours, 20 minutes and 1 second. So I told you it was gonna be long. I told you it was gonna be tough. I did not lie, it was long and it was tough. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go, but first, whenever I do a workout that incorporates jump rope, in addition to my bonus burpee, I also like to do a bonus set of 100 with my jump rope. So if you would like to join me, the bonus burpee is mandatory. You must do a bonus burpee and it must be the last thing that you do because that's what completes the workout. But this bonus set of jump rope is completely optional. So if you would like to join me, again, any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're just counting 100 revolutions of the jump rope. If you don't want to do the bonus jump rope section, that's fine. You can cheer me on and hope that I have enough strength in my legs to get through this without tripping over my jump rope. Take another second to breathe, and then we can do our bonus burpee together. So if you would like to join me for this final bonus set of 100 with the jump rope, here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that is 100. Bonus set of jump rope, and now at long last we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. One more deep breath, and when you're ready, here we go. Final rep of the day. The workout is now officially complete. So get up, let's do a quick cool down together. You want to keep moving, keep the circulation going while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit and while you allow your breathing to normalize. So you can just kind of pace around a little bit, that's great. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Let's do a quick shoulder stretch. So you're just going to bring one arm across your body, use your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Make sure that your straight arm is completely relaxed and make sure the shoulder is completely relaxed. You are not going to be able to stretch your shoulder effectively unless the muscle is relaxed. So make sure your shoulder is down away from your ear. And make sure you're focusing on slowing down your breathing and keep moving. You can pace around while we do these stretches, or you can just shake out the legs I always just kind of like to shift my weight from foot to foot. Whatever works for you, just keep moving. Let's get the other shoulder, so bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in close to your chest, relaxing this arm, relaxing this shoulder, and feeling that nice stretch. Focusing on your breath, trying to slow down your breathing. So if you're still breathing heavily, or if you find that you're breathing shallow, meaning that you're kind of up here with your breath, focus on your diaphragm. Really visualize pulling your diaphragm down and making space for some more air. Expand your rib cage and think about breathing low. Think about breathing down to your belly button so that you take big deep breaths as opposed to short shallow breaths. All right, that's part of this cool down. Part of the process is to work on slowing down your breathing. So make sure you're being mindful about your breathing while we're doing this little bit of light stretching. I'm doing a quick tricep stretch. So I'm bending one elbow and I'm placing my hand on my elbow and just gently pulling this elbow towards the opposite shoulder. You want to make sure that your free hand is completely relaxed. Your fingers should be pointing straight down at the ground. So what you don't want is you don't want this hand hanging out up here somewhere by your shoulder. So make sure those fingers are pointing straight down at the ground. Feel that stretch in your tricep. Make sure you're moving around. So either shift your weight from foot to foot, shake out the legs, or just continue pacing. Make sure you're continuing to focus on your breath. Let's get the tricep on the other side. So bending the opposite arm, placing your hand on top of your elbow and gently pulling your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Your free hand is completely relaxed. Your fingers should be pointing straight down at the ground. Nice, deliberate, mindful, controlled breaths. One more breath here. I'm gonna shake out the arms again. And then we'll do a quick quad stretch. We worked our quads very hard today. So if you struggle with balance, you might find it helpful to hold on to the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch for support. You're going to bend one knee, bring your foot behind you, and then reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands and press your heel into your booty cheek. Really press it in there. As you do that, you're focusing on your breath, of course, but you're also tilting your pelvis forward. So by that, I mean that you're kind of tucking your booty underneath you. Think about trying to touch your spine with your belly button. And as you're doing that, you're continuing to press your heel into your booty cheek. As soon as you combine both of those elements, you're instantly going to feel that stretch in your quad intensify, and you're also going to feel that stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexor. So shake it out. Let's get the other side. So bending the opposite leg, bringing this foot up behind you. Grab a hold at the top of your foot and press your heel into your booty cheek. I'm showing you from the side this time so you can see what I'm talking about. Now you're going to tilt your pelvis forward. So you're tucking your booty underneath you, sucking that belly button back towards your spine. So really tilting your pelvis forward as you continue to press this heel into your booty cheek, feeling that nice stretch in your quad, and as you push those hips forward, you should feel that stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexor. A couple more deep breaths here. And come out. And one more time, shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms. Couple more deep breaths. If you feel that you are still breathing heavily and your heart rate is still elevated, just take a couple more minutes to pace around a little bit more, you can do some more light stretching. That's great. Just remember that this little bit of light stretching that we do during the cool down does not take the place of a proper stretching routine. It's still really important to make sure that you are taking the time to stretch every day. If you can do it right now, immediately after the workout, that is going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done, because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. If you do not have time to stretch right now, that's fine. It doesn't matter what you do for your stretching routine, and it doesn't matter when you get your stretching done, just as long as you get it done at some point during the day. It's really important to make sure that you're stretching every day. It's going to go a long way towards helping alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, and it's going to improve your flexibility. So make sure you're taking the time to stretch every day. Just remember that if you do put off your stretching until later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you are going to need to take a minute to warm them back up before you begin your stretching routine. The same way we take a few minutes to warm up before starting the workout, it's really important to make sure that you're taking a few minutes to warm your muscles up before you stretch. Your muscles, when they're cold, are not very pliable. So you want to make sure that your muscles are warm so that they become more pliable, and you'll be less likely to overstretch or strain something or pull a muscle during your stretching routine. But that's it, you guys, that's the workout. And now it is Mobility Monday, so that means that I found another mobility challenge on Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and grab my phone. We'll watch the reel together a few times so that you can see the movement, you can see what it is that we're trying to do, and then we'll try it together. All right, so I'm watching the reel now. I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at so that you can see what it is that we are about to attempt. All right, squat challenge. Sit and squat, one elbow to the ground, other elbow to the ground. Bring your feet together, hands behind the back, forehead to the ground, and that's it, your turn. All right, let's watch it again. So he's squatting, and then he is placing that one hand kind of on the side of his head, on his ear, and he's putting just one elbow down to the ground at first, and the other arm is just kind of behind him or at his side. We'll get a closer look this time. Okay, and then all he's doing is bringing the other elbow down. Nothing else is moving. Now, as he's shifting his feet or sliding his feet together, he has his elbows and his forearms on the ground in front of him. Let's watch it one more time. So one elbow, two elbows. Now watch, he puts his forearms down on the ground as he shimmies his feet together, and then he's clasping his hands behind his head. He touches his forehead to the ground, and then he stands, and that's it. That's the challenge. This one looks pretty difficult. I think I'm going to be able to do it. We'll find out. Sometimes the ones that look super difficult, like I'm never gonna be able to do them in a million years, I surprise myself with how easy they are. And other times I look at one like this and I think I can do this, and then I go to try it and there's something super tricky about it that you can't tell from watching it. So we'll find out. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. All right, so his feet were naked. I'm going with naked feet as well. So let's go ahead and come down into our squat. And then he leaned forward and just put one elbow down on the mat, and he had his hand resting on the side of his head, and then he brought his other elbow forward. So far so good. Now we have to shimmy our feet together. So he had his forearms down on the mat for the shimmy. So let's shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. The foot shimmy to get the shimmying of the feet together is taking longer than I anticipated, but I'm there. My feet are together. Okay, so now we have to tap our forehead down to the mat. My heels are lifting up a little bit. Now, he didn't say anything about keeping your feet flat on the mat, but ideally I would like to keep my heels all the way down on the mat if I can. So it's gonna need a little more work, I think. All right, that's better. And then we just have to stand. So I think I did it. It wasn't very clean. I think there's a couple little things I need to figure out. He did not take a long time shimmying his feet together, and for some reason that was really awkward for me, and it took me kind of a long time to get into that position, and then I had to kind of reposition myself before tapping my forehead to the ground in order to keep my heels down. So again, he didn't say anything about keeping your heels down, but it seems to me that that is part of the challenge, or it should be. So even though my heels came up a little bit, I'm gonna say that I was successful. I think I did it, but it wasn't very clean. So I'm definitely going to need to work on cleaning it up. But remember, if you were not successful, warped wall rules. So we get 3 attempts. If you were successful, I'm going to do it twice more anyway. So if you want to work on cleaning it up with me, you can do these next 2 attempts with me. If you were not successful the first time, we get 2 more chances. So let's go ahead and try it again. Take a nice deep breath. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. As soon as you're ready, here we go. Attempt number 2. One more deep breath. So coming down into our squat. Now we're going to lean forward and place one elbow on the ground. Rest your hand on the side of your head. Now bring the other elbow, tap your other elbow to the ground. And now we're going to shimmy our feet together. So while he did this, he had his forearms on the ground. The foot shimmy is like taking the longest for me. All right, so now that we're in this position, all we need to do is come forward, but my heels are coming up. I want to work on this so that I can figure out how to keep my heels down. But then from there, all we have to do is stand. So I'm kind of getting it, but I want to actually look at the reel again and see if there's something I'm missing or something that he's doing a little bit differently, because I feel like I should be able to keep my heels down for that last part, and I would really like to. So I'm going to actually just take another peek at the reel, and then we'll do our 3rd attempt together, but I really want to see if I can keep my heels down for that final part. So let me just see if there's anything I'm missing. All right, so I just watched the reel again, and there is one thing that I was forgetting to add, and I don't know if it's going to make it easier or more difficult. But after he had both elbows to the ground, I forgot he brought his hands behind his back, and then he put his forehead down to the ground. So I don't know if having my hands behind my back is going to make it easier or harder. I guess we'll find out. So I've already done my first 2 attempts incorrectly. So if I do not successfully complete this 3rd attempt, I'm going to give myself another 2 attempts because this is the first one that I'm trying to do correctly. Does that make sense? It's just that one little detail, but we'll see how big of a difference it makes. So let's try it again with all the steps. So we're going to come down into our squat, and then we're going to lean forward and place one elbow on the mat and place your hand on the side of your head. Now bring the other elbow to the mat and have both of your hands on the sides of your head. Now we have to shimmy our feet together. So arms down, shimmy the feet until they're together. And now we're going to bring our arms behind us, clasp the hands, and now we have to tap our forehead to the ground. Oh my gosh, this part's really hard. Okay. Tap the forehead to the ground. And then stand. Oh my gosh. All right. So I think that definitely made it difficult. That part of bringing hands behind me was super difficult. I don't know if I would call that a successful attempt or not. It was not smooth, it was not pretty, and my heels were not staying down. So this definitely needs a lot of work, but I'm gonna call that my first attempt because that was the first one that I did correctly with bringing my hands behind my back. So if you were successful the way we did it the first time, I think that one was a little bit easier. It's still challenging, but a little bit easier. So if you completed that level, great. Let me invite you to try this next level with me because I think that part of putting your hands behind your back makes it a lot more difficult. So I'm gonna call that attempt number 1 for me because that was the first one I did with all of the elements included. So let's go ahead and try it twice more and see if we can get it to flow a little better and see if we can get one that looks a little prettier and that I'm a little happier with. All right, so here we go. This is my second official attempt. Wish me luck. So, squat. And now one elbow down, rest the hand on the side of your head, bring the other elbow down. This part, up until here, I'm pretty good. Here's where it gets tricky. So now we have to shimmy the feet together. I don't know why this part takes me so long. I'm gonna blame my mat for no discernible reason. All right, now from here, we have to bring our hands behind, tap the forehead down, and then stand. All right, I think that was much cleaner, but still not perfect. My heels are still coming up a little bit, and I would love to be able to figure out how to do this while keeping my feet perfectly flat on the mat, keeping my heels down the whole time because he looked like he had his heels flat on the mat or on the grass the entire time. So I think I got it. I think that counts. That is a successful attempt. It just wasn't very clean, but I think it was cleaner than the first attempt. So we're on the right track. I think eventually I might be able to get it looking pretty good. I hope so because you guys know that I always like to make my own reel and I share it as a YouTube short as well. So I want to get it cleaned up and looking really, really good so that I can share my own reel on Instagram and share my own YouTube short. But I think I'm getting there. I think that was much, much better. So if you got it, great. Let's do it one more time so that you can clean it up. And if you haven't gotten it yet, that's fine. We get one more chance. All right, so when you're ready, this is it. This is our third and final attempt. So here we go. Coming down into our squat. And now you're going to place one elbow on the mat, rest your hand on the side of your head, bring the other elbow down and rest it on the mat. Now we're going to shimmy our feet together. So you can rest your forearms on the mat, shimmy the feet together, and once your feet are together, you're going to clasp your hands together behind you, and then we need to just lean forward and tap our forehead down to the mat, and now stand, and that's it. I think we did it. He really did make it look a lot easier than it is. This one's actually quite challenging. I still need to work on cleaning it up. The transition of bringing my hands behind my back definitely is not very smooth, not very pretty. So I want to work on cleaning that up, and I really, really want to be able to do it with my heels flat on the mat the whole time. So I have work to do, but I'm going to keep working on it. I want to keep getting better at it, but you let me know how you did with this one. You let me know if you thought it was as challenging as I did. Was it more challenging than you thought it was going to be? Because for me, it was a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be. But let me know how you did with it. Let me know if you were successful, but I'm saying that I got it. So that is another successful Monday Mobility Challenge in the books for me. Let me know how you did with it. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything was unclear with the format of today's workout and how you can modify it and customize it to accommodate your time constraints or your fitness level, if you have questions about the exercises that we were doing today, or if you need to see beginner modifications, I'm right here to help, so please just ask. That is going to do it for today, but before I say goodbye, I have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is, as God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. So if you are still watching this video, hello, thank you for watching all the way until the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, as God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Bye.